Feels like you're in the middle of a jungle. We just left town, so you're not really, but it's just as much jungle as you actually want to encounter. The jungle is not actually a nice place, as it turns out. There's actually rice fields, too, on either side of the waterway here. Not all active, but...
I love that this is such a main thoroughfare.
This is one I've been wanting to do for a while, and I didn't really know if we'd get to because it's kind of involved getting here. And it was debated in my head whether I should show the whole trip. I got up early. You can do it as a day trip from Hanoi. I know a lot of tours come down. And honestly, that may be the right way to go. I'll tell you why. I usually feel like you overpay for everything on a tour. Obviously, you're hello. Obviously, you're paying partially for the tour guide, which is, it can be worth it, absolutely, but the transportation I think is way overvalued because it's generally pretty cheap to get around. I took the train down. I paid round trip. It was about an hour ride from Hanoi. I took it down, and then it was between $4 and $5 round trip. So that's not too bad. But here's the trick. I was expecting to be able to get a cheap bike taxi once I got down here, and for whatever reason, because that's what I did before. For whatever reason, there are no bike taxis in town, it seems. I got the apps that I usually call the taxis on, and neither one of them had the option of a bike. And there were no bike taxis waiting outside the train station. So, I don't know what to say about that. So I ended up having to just call a regular car, and I'll end up paying about $20 round trip because we're not, as you will be able to see in a minute, we're not in town. So the train station stops in Phu Li, and if you pick up the taxi there to here, it's at least a half an hour. We got in I had just got out of the taxi when I started the stream. So I think that was about, I want to say it was just slightly over 30 minutes, maybe right at 30 minutes. Come to think of it. By the way, we'll make more comment on the scenery as I head out. Oh, well, that's official looking. Hi, xin chào. Bao nhiêu tiền? Bao nhiêu?
Mấy người?
Mấy người.
Mấy người? Bao nhiêu cô bé?
Here? Oh, over here. Come on. She was pointing at the sign. She was pointing across the street. Good morning. Hi. Just one person, yes.
Did you buy a ticket yet?
No.
Not yet? Engine ticket for you?
Mm-hmm.
And one more is everything like 630,000.
630?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Stay there.
It's an expensive thing, but it does include entrance and the boat
Later,
boat.
if you buy a ticket cable car, you buy in my restaurant.
I should mention this is a site that's very, very popular on a particular holiday. I want to say it's on Tet. I don't recall. We're not at that, and I had the chance to come now, so we're coming. But it would be an interesting trip, but a completely different one than the one you're going to see today. I wanted a Red Bull at the store, and I was like, I don't think that's the best thing, but if that's what she wants and it gives her the energy to do it, then okie doke.
Well, they say Red Bull gives you wings, or it gives you very strong rowing arms.
That's what we need, not wings. Feels like you're in the middle of a jungle. We just left town, so you're not really, but it's just as much jungle as you actually want to encounter. The jungle is not actually a nice place, as it turns out. There's actually rice fields, too, on either side of the waterway here. Not all active, but...
I love that this is such a main thoroughfare. I
strongly suspect that's why people come. This part... that cat was going crazy. I feel like this adds to it.
I can't get him to shut up.
Like, when we were in, actually probably several places, but especially, I remember the one in Da Nang, we were just a couple of steps back up off the street, but the pagoda was so peaceful inside. But this one, imagine this one, we're out in the countryside anyway. The town I talked about actually wasn't a town, I lied about that, but it's
so how long do they row? How long is she rowing you down?
All day, maybe.
That's crazy.
That's not entirely true. She said the lady at the office said that she would be with me all day, so she's going to wait at this end up here for me. I mean, that lady's rowing 10 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad, even though I am a bit of a fat ass.
I mean, even if you had a little bit of weight on you, there's no way you weigh 10 people.
No, not 10 people's worth.
So this is Perfume River.
Oh, okay. This is Perfume River, so it's same name as the temple.
Interesting. Oh, a cable car option is now available for those who prefer to skip the boat ride. What? Why would you want to skip the boat ride? I definitely would not want to be in a cable car either for the length of this.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, sorry. I noticed too late that I just too lazy really to go back and change that. Sorry, that is incorrect. The cable car option is in place of the stairs because it goes up, not in place of the boat. I read that online and I was like, I'll just put this in. And then I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I was about to ask exactly how they were getting a cable car to do anything around where that is, but I thought maybe they're over, off to the side where we can't see those or something. I mean, I was like, that seems like a long way.
Yeah, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would spoil the the trip. The whole fun of it is foul plus raw. The whole fun of it is taking the boat ride. Although I would be perfectly happy with a motorboat. No, I don't. If that had been the option that was available, I definitely would have taken it. I don't insist that anyone row. I don't know why that's a thing, but honestly, pedicabs are still popular right in the middle of Hanoi, and I get why rowing.
This is just so pretty.
It's a gorgeous area. Yeah, I think this is worth a day trip. There's lots of places to take day trips to around Hanoi. But this is a good one to me. I think a more popular one is an area called Ninh Binh, and it's more this type of scenery, the karst topography. But that is the whole thing you're doing. And I'm sure there are temples there, but the temples are not the main attraction. You missed the part where our guide, our rower, does not speak English, so we can discuss the sensitive issue of tipping.
Oh gosh, if someone rode my butt down, I guess what is the typical tipping that happens there?
0.
And they don't
tipping
tip them?
Oh, you mean for there? You said how they do it there in Vietnam? You mean here at this place for this particular task?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. That's I mean,
oh my God,
you've got quite some time to do some research, which I knew I was about to start to keep clicking.
Yeah, did you hear me start typing?
Yes, that is definitely something I would like for you to research, if you don't mind. I never know exactly what. On rare occasions in Vietnam, you will be expected to tip, and it's almost always somewhere where you're like, yeah, that deserves a tip. So I'm almost never reluctant to do it, but I don't know what the amount is. The whole round trip only costs about $20. Oh my God! Maybe it was. Well, it's hard to say exactly because they put the tip in. I mean the.
Oh, well, I'm on TripAdvisor, and this guy's asking exactly about what should I tip the boat rower, and this other guy says, be careful how much you tip. Look online and you'll find average wages from one website to another, but if you look at average manual workers' monthly wage, $3 million, that will give you an idea of daily income. However, boat rowers' income fluctuates, and they are controlled with restrictions. So work out how much of an estimated daily wage you consider, blah, 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 blah. Well, if I would just do here, let me see. Consider the rowers.
I'm more concerned with what it's worth, not like a market rate, what it's worth, sort of, market
rate. I don't like how that guy was doing it, so I went down from that buttholes thing. I was like, what are you talking about, dude?
I like that because it clarifies the situation. You don't really know when you travel who's legit needing, who's being paid a full salary and who's depending on tips. So if they tell you, look, she's expecting a tip, she's needing a tip.
I mean, I would still give a tip because she's rowing me anyway.
My personal belief is they should be paid a living wage and I should not have to tip at all. But the problem is, that's not the way it works. So if you go to a restaurant and you participate in the system, then you need to hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
I don't like the way it is, but that doesn't make it not that way. Oh,
I found
okay, go ahead.
Appropriate tip for tour guides and drivers. That's good enough. You know what I mean? You can consider staff who provide these services around $20,000 to $50,000 a Vietnam dong that's approximately $1 or $2 per person. And this top answer says, like, I was thinking like five, but that's because she's like rowing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But she's more than a guide because she's a rower, so that makes sense too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's doing a lot more than just a guide. But keep in mind, we're just getting started on our summer trips. We haven't really left. We haven't at all left Hanoi for the summer trip yet, and I got a big one planned. So I'm thinking I'll cap it at the $5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I would do, because another person on here said approximately 4 to 8 per day if they're doing something, involved. That's, I'd say rowing is involved.
Right, like she's not actually giving us a tour, but rowing that's not an easy thing.
I personally like the non-interaction in rowing and then having a nice, pleasant, not having to talk to someone ride. That's like definitely worth $5. I love it. My dream is to go to any other country and they're not speaking English and they're just like, "Hi, here's your stuff." You nod, you smile, everyone's pleasant, and then everybody gets left alone. Oh, I love that. That would be great.
That was that wonderful. The best part about getting my hair cut for the past 10 years has been nobody tries to talk to me.
Oh, that would be so good. I mean, well, Katie cuts my hair now. I could get her to do it, but that's why I've avoided. I mean, because I hate going to the salon because I don't want to talk about. The last time I went, some woman was like, "Oh, I love this song," and I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Oh, you don't know it?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Who is it?" She goes, "Luke Bryan." I'm like, "Okay, that could be just anybody." I have no idea who that is.
No, I'm going to make a very broad statement here, but I think it is broadly true. Asians don't like cold stuff. That's not 100%, of course.
Right, but they're not hell-bent on having cold drinks.
No, and I mean, it's a traditional thing. So you find young people, at the coffee shop having iced coffee. And I mean, to be fair, even old people have iced coffee because coffee's a thing. But they don't, that's not a traditional thing in either China or Vietnam. And I've heard India as well, that people are just not seeking out cold. It's considered unhealthy.
So these places are huge. So I'm like you said, they get really busy at some points, but right now not a soul is using, which is great.
It is, and I hate it for the people. But they're already used to that because this is a holiday thing. So they're not. There was no expectation that people were going to be here today.
Right.
You can't see in here, but this is another fairly large restaurant. It's just completely, lights out. Well, this one is lights on. They're in business today, but they just don't have any customers right now. Fresh sugarcane juice is very good. This is one day I would have much preferred to wear shorts, and it's the one type of guys wearing shorts. The one type of thing you're not supposed to wear shorts to. The temple, I'd
have to wear some flowy clothes that allow for skin to breathe, I guess. I know we were talking about the silk and how the reason it's okay because it's not moisture wicking or anything, but it lets the air flow, I guess. Yeah. I'd have to wear something I would definitely be covered though, but not even just because I was going to a temple. I haven't worn shorts since high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not big on wearing them, but if I know it's going to be really hot.
I mean, I've gone on a trip and went hiking and yeah, because it was hot. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is around people too.
Well,
I'll be like,
in Thailand, it never fails that there'll be someone selling flowy, very lightweight material pants right across the street from the temple because tons of tourists show up and go, "Oops, I didn't wear shorts. I didn't wear pants. That's nice looking."
Well, that's smart.
I don't know if we're allowed to walk up there.
It is. I know. Are the steps okay?
They're ancient steps. They don't look slippery, but they are moss covered and looks like nobody's been up there in a while. So I'm going to pass on it.
That looks beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would not trust walking.
Yeah. We're just now on the. That's like the first thing you see, but we're nowhere near. Well, no, we're actually close. I take it back. We're close to the temple. The temple itself is down here. At the lower level, it's some kind of a shrine or something that's up at the peak. Yeah. All of these things that are covered up, those are all restaurants. At least actually probably larger than the one we just walked in and looked at. So each one of those tarps covers up a restaurant. I'll show you an open one on this side. One guy. Zoom.
Is that what that is in the front of it? That's the tarp? It's a tarp, like
Yeah,
plastic?
the red, white, and blue stripe thing over here. Those are tarps that are covering
I
up
like
restaurants.
those.
Yeah. Got some mud going. I just washed these shoes, so I knew there'd be a nice muddy thing I could walk through.
They're actually doing whatever they can to live, and it keeps these places up. It keeps everything preserved because of what they're doing.
And I would actually point out too that these are local, small businesses. These are local sellers. That's not, Megaco Corporation, which is a bit more genuine, even if they are selling plastic trinkets for kids. Oh, these are Japanese-looking towers. These pagodas. Do we have any facts about this temple?
Okay, hold on. I've got the fact file.
The fact file.
Okay, so is it Chua Huang? Is that how you say it? Chua Huang?
I think it's just Huong.
Chong?
Hung.
I
think so.
But is it Chua? Is that correct? Or am I doing that wrong?
Uh-oh. I dropped my water again.
No.
This incense burner is burning away. What do they got in there? Oh, it's fruit. They're burning fruit rinds and things.
You put your weed in there.
You can put your weed in it, man. No short clothes. Okay. Let me see if it says no cameras up here inside the temple. No cameras inside the temple. All right, we can get that. How did we say you say these? No, not allowed. They had a picture of a man in shorts, and he was like the shorts were. They were stick figures. The shorts were accentuated, so it's like no shorts. And the next one, it was a lady wearing a dress. It was just like the regular lady on the ladies' room, but she was in a dress, and that little stick figure lady was wearing a dress. And that had a cross in it. So it meant no dresses, not no ladies.
I was like, wait, that kind of cuts down to anyone that can go there, like half the people.
That's what she say. I love it. If that counts as one. Oh, it was really easy to get here the front way. They just working on things. Okay. They blocked it off from the other side. That's a big building. That's worth noting. I personally wouldn't worry about it if I was a visitor, but there are often areas, especially if they're working on something, that you're not supposed to go in, but there's not a shred of evidence that you're not supposed to be there. There's no sign, nothing.
They're like, you'll find out.
We'll just have a monk come out and chase you down.
No.
Well, that's nice. That whole setup makes a lot more sense from this vantage point. Got the altar and the two things on the side and the whatever in the back. When I came back, there were no bathrooms on the top, and I was like, I'm sorry, I know I was going to go to your shop, but I really got to find a bathroom. She's like, oh, okay, come here. And I thought she was going to take me to her shop because she had a bathroom in her shop, but hers was like that. It was just on the outside of of an area. It was just a stall. She took me through the little alleyways there in front of the mountain, and she had said she lives there, and I thought, you don't live here. What are you talking about? She took me through the alleyways, and sure enough, they had a little house back there. She's like, She let me use her personal bathroom in her house.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that's the nicest thing. I'm definitely going to buy something from you. And I did, I overspent. But I don't even mind.
Oh yeah, I would have. I definitely would have done that.
I think it's home.
Home.
Yeah, and just the blind leading the blind. Whenever you ask me,
Okay.
I laugh.
Okay. Well, I don't know those little accents again. I could try and figure it out because it's the U and the O, and it has that little swoop up of an accent at the end of those. And I know it's different than the other ones that go the other way.
Yeah, the apostrophe, the attached apostrophe, kind of makes most of the vowels go. So,
okay. So,
hung. Yeah.
Hung.
Yeah.
Hung. Okay. So the Hung Temple, also known as and now this other one, that's a Chua. But is it Chua? Chua? Because it's got Chua Temple. That's the inner temple. That's the main one. Okay. Yeah. So that's the center of it. Anyway, it says located in the Tish Cave. Let me see. What is this? It says approaching from the Day River. I know it's not just Day. I'm sure there's a way to say it. Also, the D in this one has a dash on it. Oh, I would die walking up that. I was reading and then I'd look up and I would look back at where you're going. And
it just keeps going.
Did we see this shrine? It says the shrine of high-ranking Mandarin built to worship one of the generals of Hung King. This large shrine has a gate with 2 kneeling elephant statues. Did we see
I
that?
don't know.
Because it says approaching from the Day River, one will come across the Din Trin Presentation Shrine, also known as Din Quan Long. Actually, it's like, okay, look. Quan, and then this Lon, it's Lon, but the O has an accent mark, but then it has the attached apostrophe too. So that must give you 2 vowel sounds with the 1 vowel, like long or something like that. Long.
Nope.
It's just long. What is it?
Yep.
Because it's got the apostrophe. Okay, you get what I'm saying, right? Because it's got the little dash and then the apostrophe.
Most of them came to Vietnam to see Vietnam, not to work at your school. So once you get that through your head, you do things like give holidays off. They're so money. The people who own the schools, the rich people who own the schools, they're so greedy that they can't see that giving time off is sensible for the kids, because most of them don't attend during holidays anyway, and they'll help you keep teachers. If teachers could go out and actually enjoy festivals and see the country, they'd be much more likely to stay with your school. They're not here for money. But the idiots that run the schools, they're just like, oh, we can sell it for a higher price if we sell 2-hour classes for kindergartners. Let's go. As a teacher, you're like, what are you talking about? Kindergartners not going to stay in a class for 2 hours? You're stupid. Anyway, that was a side note, but yes, this would be a great place to go during the festival, because the weather would not make you want to die. I have to take a minute and rearrange my bag because I struggled so taking it off. Okay. All right here. Now, this might help some. Okay. We're together. Here we go. I feel like I interrupted you at some point. Would you like to continue?
Oh no, I was just trying to see about that cave while you were trying to catch your breath.
Yeah, we're going to see that cave for sure. Also, remind me to talk to you about the diacritics. They are fascinating.
Right, because as I start to say it, I'm like, I'm going to butcher this.
Yes.
There's no way I'm going to know it with these different marks because.
Yeah, and that's normal, completely expected. And you won't get it. You certainly won't get it perfectly from me, but it is highly unusual for second language speakers to be able to assimilate the phonemes of a new language. So you shouldn't worry about not getting it perfect. Just get in the neighborhood and try to improve as you. That's mostly advice for like a traveler who's afraid of speaking a few words. Travelers are not expected to be fluent, but you can learn a few words. It'll go a long way.
Now you can see where it's at. Going
down is better, Erica. Better to give than receive. The worst part is I know the cable car building doesn't have any air conditioning. I am only hoping the cable cars do. If they do, they can get me stuck on the cable car for a few hours. It'll be all right. I thought those cables were for the cable car. I was like, oh no, Disney World burned down. Oh, okay, so I don't know if it gives you any idea of what walking up the stairs to the temple is like, but that's the first set of stairs right there.
Oh.
Hi. And I mean, you ask if it's comfortable. It feels like a luxury spa right now.
Sadly, my only comparison for anything where I'm overheated, it's humid, and I'm having to walk a lot is Disney. Yeah. And I thought I was going to die there, but it was like ridiculous because it's Florida and it's stupid. Yeah. And we were out in the sun waiting on a ride that was that ride, it was called Body Wars. We were in a line for an hour and a half in the sun, and the ride was 2 minutes long.
Goodness.
And that's why I kept going to Epcot and going to Norway, because it was a water ride indoors. Yeah. And you could touch the water, and it was nice and cold. And it was like, welcome to Norway. And I'm like, hell yeah, welcome to Norway. I'm going to be on this 5 times. And I rode it over and over again until I was completely sufficiently cooled. So you're in your Norway. You have your Norway drink.
Spaceship Earth, I felt like was the best because it took the longest. It was the whole thing was AC. It didn't move quickly at any point. You could just like slide down in your seat and be like, okay, just wake me up when it's done. And there usually wasn't much of a line because it was constant loading. I mean, that was genius. I don't know why they abandoned that shit. What kind of fools are going in there and going, let me wait for 3 hours on a roller coaster? That'd be fun. Shit.
I mean, it was one of the new rides that we got. I was like, this wasn't even good. And I want to say it had Leah Thompson. It had some major actor in their little acting sketch part of it and everything. But they got rid of that. I think Norway is gone. I think they've gotten rid of the ride, which sucks.
When I came in,
I mean, not that I'm ever going back there.
When I came in, I asked the tickets, and she pointed and she said, sit down. And somehow in my mind, I was so eager to sit down and rest that I was like, the tickets must be coming to me. I'm just going to wait here for them. That was what I thought. And I realize now that's not rational. But man, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down in this comfortable chair and everything will just happen like it's supposed to. Terrific. Somebody notify me when it all works out.
That's because the blood wasn't in your brain to work it out. The blood was like in all of your other extremities to try and propel you to where you were going.
Trying to about the Vietnamese language, like I'm some Vietnamese language expert. Just anyone watching, and I'm not a Vietnamese language expert.
Oh yeah, it was like that.
I just know a couple of things.
But you are studying.
I'm studying, yes.
Yeah, and you do immerse yourself.
Yeah, I see it a lot.
Yeah, you're doing.
I know some basic things. I can let you know some secrets to get you started. But this little place has a great view. Oh, look at that. They're not open. Look, they haven't never been open, but Kim's Tea, it says. Fruit juice, coffee, milk tea, fast food. That's cute. But they do a lot of business during the busy time. Okay, so the diacritics in Vietnamese there's 2 categories of them. There are some that indicate vowel sound. You know how in English we don't distinguish, at least in the written language, between one vowel sound and like the short and long sounds. It's either a or I, and we don't really tell you. You can't tell by looking. Well, in Vietnamese you can. Each vowel sound has its own letter and diacritic combination. I think I'm using the term diacritic correctly, but I mean the marks. Any of the marks generically are called diacritics. Once you know, when it's not 100%, you can find some places that you can find some places that will overcharge you. So this is absolute, but it is so common. Like you're in a tourist place, she could charge whatever she wanted because I wasn't walking back down to get water. But it's the same price as it is in the store around the corner from my house. Come in. Do I go up here? Hold on, sorry. No. What? No. Hold on. I saw the cable car going up a minute ago. This is those annoyances of travel that we were talking about. I mean, this is pretty dumb.
Yeah, that's really wrong. They really should have like explicitly said that you need to get it at the. I mean, because not everybody would even walk into that restaurant. They just keep on bebopping.
No, right. I mean, it just looked like fancier than all the others. And because I'm holding a camera, I was like, let's walk in there and look. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have looked. But I'll bet if you go back on the video, no, thank you. I bet if you go back on the video, she told me that when I got on the boat. I remember her saying something, but
like 2 hours. Oh no! If I hadn't had the cereal mishap, I might have heard her.
You might have, yeah, but I should have.
Yeah, especially I had a little Buddha statue, and he was the bigger one, and I'm sure there's names for each, but I can't remember what it was. But there were little babies hanging off of him everywhere, and it was just really cute. And ended up giving it to this woman who had like lost her home, and she had just finally gotten this little bitty apartment. And I brought her some stuff. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is beautiful!" And she put Buddha right up on the top of where her TV was.
Oh, nice.
Wow, what is that? One of those little communist shirts. I love it. I want to wear that here.
Well, they got some full size.
It's so cute.
Sorry, I don't know why I keep flipping the camera. Okay.
It's giving little action shots.
Yeah. Chum. Okay. No. Thank you. Come on. I got to get down to this ticket place. And then at the end of the day, I feel like at this rate, it's going to be 5 o'clock before we get up to the temple. What time is it now, by the way? Okay, it's not even 10:30 yet. Well, I'm sure people don't want to watch it go even slower. But I am not going to be sprinting back up to the cable car. I'd like to say I can't believe I did that, but I totally believe it because I do shit like that all the time. I just don't get why they wouldn't sell it there. Why would you not sell? Why would you sell this cable car tickets a half mile away? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. And from the restaurant thing, like I never would have thought that you would get it from right there.
Well, that restaurant seems like it was tied to the hotel that I got the boat ride from. I'll tell you, most people probably come here as a tour if they're foreign tourists. I gotta be honest, I've been here twice now, and you do not see a lot of Westerners. Not zero, but right now, obviously, there's just nobody.
Which is still good.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I love that.
I certainly don't mind being the only person the touts are tolerant for. The only thing that bothers me, and it did happen today, is taxi drivers. The taxi drivers are too aggressive. And it's not even that I mind that they're lots of nice hats. I'm going to be totally honest and tell you, when she said I had to walk back down here, I was like, well, looks like it's the walk towards the Perfume Pagoda, guys, not the walk to the Perfume Pagoda. Get that boat and head home. But then I remembered it's only 10:30 and I'm here till my train doesn't leave till almost 6, I think. Oh, but this would be a good time you weren't here when the stream started. And I mentioned the way to get here, and I don't know if I want to advise people do this or not. You'll have to determine your own tolerance level for off the beaten path transport, because one thing I thought I was going to take the train to the town. Last time I came here, I took the train to the town and then there was a guy on a motorbike waiting just outside, and he's like, hop on my motorbike for a fantastically reasonable price, and we will ride across gorgeous rice fields, and I'll get you there in 20 minutes. And he did. He didn't say all that. He didn't speak any English, but I interpreted it to mean this. Anyway, yeah, it was an amazing trip because the train ride was fun, and you're getting off in this small little Vietnamese town, which most people don't get to see, which is not a tourist spot at all. It just happens to be where the train station is. And then a fairly short ride on the back of a motorbike in a beautiful area. And it's just as well we didn't, because for some reason now, and this, I came here before when it was during the pandemic, and it was one of the, periods in Vietnam where there was no disease, so you could travel around. But today when I did it, the train was very crowded. Okay, understandable, because it's normal now, not the pandemic. But the train was crowded. The people were friendly. It was still a fun trip, but it was crowded. And then I got off and started looking and I got off the train, and immediately, this is fairly normal, it's just always annoying, immediately there's a cab driver there harassing you. And I only say harassing because he followed me right up until I got into the cab that I had ordered on the app. And the only reason I didn't use his service is because he was so annoying. And I was like, I'm not rewarding you for that. I don't care if you will save me $1. He was like, insisting that I take him. He's like, I'm $1 cheaper than the app. I'm like, okay, I see that, but I'm not worried about the dollar. I'm worried about the fact that he was following me around and touching and playing with and hitting my phone, not hitting it, but hitting buttons on it. I'm trying to call the app, and he's like, no, let me show you this, and he's hitting touching the phone to do stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm not using you. That's it. I wish I could explain to you why.
Right.
But you don't touch my fucking phone. Especially when I'm in the midst of trying to figure out what a reasonable price should be. And his price was reasonable. And if he had just backed the fuck off for 2 seconds, I probably would have used his cab. Motorbikes. Now I've never run into that before at all in Vietnam. That is insane. There were no motorbikes on the apps. Neither of the apps that I use had motorbikes listed, and there were none waiting outside. I have never seen that at all. And I was like, why are there no motorbikes in this town? That's crazy, because that would be an incredibly easy trip and was before. But yeah, anyway, so that's annoying. Usually, if they're not right, like as you step off of the train onto the platform, if they're not right there, then they're right outside the front gate, and you don't have a chance to even look to get the address of where you're going. Like before they're swarming you. I'm like, how can you say you're going to take me there when I don't even know where I'm going yet? Why don't you give me 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Some places are like that. Vietnam is one of the places that's like that. So if you come here and you're going to take the train places, be aware and prepared to be swarmed. Now, this time, there was just one guy, and everybody else seemed to be meeting somewhere, but they were meeting them at the exit to the train, not the train station. I don't know why they were up that far, but I was like, okay, it works. But yeah, that's the way it is. So be prepared for that, and you'll just have to deal. It's not even bad. Like half the time, I would say it's actually not a bad idea to take one of them up on their offer. But you've got to know where you're going before you get off the train. I was not aware of the humidity phenomenon, Erica. You have educated me. You have expanded my mind.
That is a medical term. No, seriously, I would die there.
It's crazy humid here. The only real solution is to take it slow. And I feel like I'm getting burnt too, so I'm worried. That's why I bought this hat, which is probably not the most fashionable hat, but I got to be honest, I'm not worried about that at the moment. Trying to keep the sun off of me. Okay, I got my ticket. Off we go. Oh, I knew that. I knew the cap wasn't on there. Okay. Honestly, don't know if I can hold all of this. I guess I need to switch. I bought a new bag and I just haven't switched to it. Okay. No, not right now. Thank you. Yeah, come back. We have to buy something from her when we come back down. I don't like to think I'm obligated to buy things, but I don't know, occasionally I'm like, okay, she was really nice. Okay. So on that, you have to back to the cab. So I couldn't get a bike, so I had to take a regular cab out here. And like I said, it ended up being round trip about $20. So I'm one person. That was $20 for the cab ride.
Oh.
Yeah. $20 for the boat ride and temple admission, and then about $8 for the the thing we're about to do, the cable car.
No, I don't think you can hear. Move.
So that's about
my God.
$30.
Let me mute this for one second so I can move everything.
I'm going to keep talking.
Okay, I'll be right back. But I don't think there was that going on where you couldn't have the bikes.
That I remember in Penang, one of the things that I wanted to do, and I should have just booked a tour ahead of time. So there's a tip: if you're going to Da Nang and you want to see Son Tra Peninsula, just hire somebody, because you're supposed to be able to hire through Grab an hourly bike, but nobody would. It's just like when you call one for a trip, like they don't have to, accept that. There were plenty of drivers, but nobody wanted to do that. So I was like, okay, but so you need to hire or arrange a tour probably through your hotel ahead of time, which is by tour, I just mean like a guy with a bike. Just hire a guy with a bike to drive you around the peninsula, because there's no public transportation. It's a big natural area, so you can't walk everywhere, at least not within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, there's hiking trails, but I don't think you'd want to hike the entire peninsula. Apparently, my dream about just sitting here and it all working out, that is totally correct. That's how it works. I'm like, because the entrance area is totally blocked off by railing, and I was like, well, how do I get up there? And she's like, oh no, you don't. You just sit down right here. She's like, yeah, you just sit down right there. That's how it works. I was like, well, hon, that sounds delightful. I thought that was too good to be true.
Excellent.
Sit down and do nothing. But I don't even know why, because I don't get it really, because the cars are running. I see them, or I could see them earlier. Like they're running like a regular cable car. I'm like, if I just walk up the stairs, won't I just get on one? How is this not? But maybe they've got a limited number and they just send them up and back down.
I mean, are they going to have someone come out there to you to retrieve?
Oh, I think they're going to send her a message on her phone. Oh, she said, go ahead. They already did.
Oh.
They just sent her a message, and they're like, we ready for you. So much junk. Okay, here we go. I've got the hat and the shirt that I had to take off because I don't know why I wore an overshirt. It was cool this morning, that's why. And water bottle and the bag and the gimbal. See, I feel like, do you feel like the camera is wobbling too much? What do you think? No? Okay.
No, it's been wobblier.
It's
before.
been wobblier. It looks, that's not right. Let's see how we doing now. Okay. Again, they are prepared for a very busy time. Maybe it's because they're so slow that it isn't worth running the thing constantly. So I only do one trip like every half hour or something.
Did you hear? He did it just, and he's like, I'm teasing. And I know he's a cat. He's not like thinking that this is like some long-term strategy. He just wants attention, and he's like, got it. God, no.
There's a cell tower amongst the trees.
Wait, I can't see it.
Oh, I don't think you can if I point at it, but it's down there. See the trail? It has little shops along the whole way. So you can see the roofs of the shops. Well, I guess when I walked it before, I thought I was going straight up, but you're not. You're going out. The actual cave shrine that we're going to is on a mountain that you can't even see from. Please, in the future, if I ever go cuckoo and start talking about, I can walk up that mountain, and if there's any other option, please stop me from doing that. That would kill me.
I mean, I kept saying, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this.
We should definitely go by the rule that if you can't do it, I should not try it with a gimbal and a camera and all that stuff. Go with the easier.
God. And the bag.
Yeah, big bag with the battery and everything in it.
Mm-hmm. I might have to mute in a second when he comes this way, when Jacob comes this way, so I can have the cats move to a cat carrier just long enough for it to be quiet in here.
Mình phải biết nhu cầu của mình nói rồi chứ không phải là không nói. Em nhớ đặt 1.000 nhé. 120 mình chỉ được 300. Hỏi tôi đặt 1.000 trả 2. Đúng rồi. Tập thể dục nhé. Thể dục xong. Thì đó 5 cân. Hồi nãy mẹ nói xong rồi. Thì không biết luôn có ý kiến không nhỉ? Đó mình đi theo đường đó. Không sao là mọi người đổi ý con vật về gì không vấn đề gì cả. Điều gì cả phải phát triển học rồi. Mình phải bước xuống luôn á, nó không dừng luôn, nó khó dừng. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I wasn't sure whether we were supposed to wait for something because there's nobody up here. Hilarious. She's like, yeah, you can get out now. Putting on my crazy hat. Well, look, I could have waited and got one by myself. Oh well. Nobody was really giving instructions down at the other end either. Got my hat, got my water. All right, let's head on and explore this cave. I know I have said this plenty of times before, but I just feel like you can't say it enough. If you're coming to Southeast Asia and you want to do anything other than the beach, summer is not the time to come. In fact, I might even go so far as to say you don't really need to avoid rainy season. Like, I kind of like the rainy season if I'm not filming. Like, we're shooting, so I try and avoid the rain. That's undoubtedly where that all started, and of course, as you get farther away from the temple and it gets more touristy, it's going to be more, toys for the kids and things. But again, that is part of it. It's not like I hear people say stuff. I'm referring to the guy that was complaining about the sellers again, the people selling things. But I think I hear people talk about stuff like that. And I feel like you're not really getting the experience. That's part of it.
Right. Have they not played video games where people are doing that too? Like that's you know what I'm talking
Not
about
really.
when you're like going through and oh no, I used to like I mean these are old video games, but you could buy stuff from people on like Castlevania as you're going through the whole game and you're like, here, buy my wares. You know, so like, but anyway, it's an adventure, damn it.
I didn't
buy something.
I didn't know that was in Castlevania. I didn't know that was kind of game, but I know the kind of stuff you're talking about. You go, like, you fight through the level, and then you go into the town and restock it with your, potions and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think that's what's going on here, but that's.
In my case, there, I'd buy that teddy bear fan. Here, this will help
Oh, yeah.
your journey.
I tell you, if I had extra hands, I probably
baby
would have.
communist shirt.
Okay, we're heading into the temple area, so I feel like I'll be a little quiet. Also, this is a cave, so you know how we get cut out in caves. If it cuts out, if it cuts out, I've got a new thing you can do. You want to play a video if it cuts out? Okay,
Yes.
So I want you to go on the right side of your browser window. You've got something that says brand, and if you click on that, you'll.
Oh wait, my thing isn't working. Wait. I think because if I don't go on to the I don't know if it was this thing with my face and the kids in it because I'm not logged in.
Feels like you cut out there. Oh, did she come back? Hold on. Gotta hit buttons.
Logged in. I logged into this buffet. Giant wood spider, Nephila maculata.
Nephila maculata. It's our happy freight.
It's harmless to humans, but spins largest webs of any species of spider. It's hand-sized.
Hand-sized?
Yep, hand-sized spider. So it's the Nephila maculata.
Wow, that was huge.
Hey, maculata eye. But yeah, if you get up really close to it, it looks like a face on its head area, on the back of its head.
Really? I did not get that close. I mean, it was suspended off the side of the stairwell, so there was no getting closer to it.
Smart spider, because people usually snatch them. Well, probably not people there, but over here they would.
Snatch them?
Yeah, to kill them. I can't stand it when people are killing spiders over here. We had an orb spider that was extended, its web extended from the tree and then over to my front door. So you would walk into it if you weren't aware. And so I moved the web and stuck it to the rail. I moved it from the tree and stuck it to the rail so it was hanging right there. So then the spider was like, okay, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I'm going to put the web over here at your door. And it did. And they eat up everything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. Eat all the gnats and stuff.
You will not have a problem with insects. You have big spiders like that. If you have spiders like that one, you may not have a problem with your neighbors. Just get rid of them for you.
Uh-huh. You were closer to those vipers than you were that spider.
I know.
I think of that all the time. Because we really did think that those were not real inside of that place.
They were so still. I was like, that's so crazy. Why would they put up wooden vipers in a place that has plenty of real snakes?
There was a pause. There's a pause again.
This deep
Yes,
into the
I can
cave
hear
without
you, but
having
it's
a
still
problem.
not moving.
But we shall exit now, because that was all there was. And now we go up the dark stairway. Dark, foggy stairway, where they did not put any lights.
Jag sitter och de här kommer runt det personer som tar över. Jag är med sig kvar med in på dörren. Men jag åker rätt och var till lobby 1, 5, 4. Den är tid. Jag kan rakt sätta från. Helvete! Nej, hit kom det. Ja, jag sitter och de här kommer runt det personer som tar över. Jag är med sig kvar med in på dörren. Men jag åker rätt och var till lobby 1, 5, 4. Den är tid. Jag kan rakt sätta från. Helvete! Nej, hit kom det. Ja, jag